Clarity unlocks direction. Without it, you don't feel lost, you feel trapped. Erin here. I'm super excited to be here with you again this week. I've been a life coach and business strategist, life and leadership coach for over 30 years. I absolutely love it. And I love sharing with you what I've learned over the last few decades to help you grow your life personally and professionally. So this week is all about, I have my notes, it's all about when money feels heavy instead of clear. Okay, so we're going to get into this right now. I don't want to waste any time. I want to help you guys get clear around when money is feeling heavy and what you can do about it. All right, here we go. Money doesn't usually feel stressful because of numbers. It feels stressful because decisions don't feel clean, especially when you are responsible for payroll, clients, growth, family, or all of it at once. Okay, so money doesn't feel stressful because of the revenue. It's the decisions that we're making as whether we're parents or entrepreneurs or leaders in corporations, employees, wherever you're at, and which we're all like sort of dependent on the revenue that we have coming in for our quality of life, right? So the money decisions that we make, when we make it out of pressure, it feels super, super heavy, right? But when we're making decisions from a place of clarity, it just feels clean. It feels like you're in alignment with it. And it just feels so good that you're lit up to go about doing what it is that you need to do based on that next fiscal, financial, monetary decision that you're about to make. Okay. And it could be when you're receiving it, when you're in receptive mode, not just when you're about to spend money, but when you're about to receive it as well. And regarding the give and take, what you're going to do to pay off a bill or purchase something, or what you're going to do to earn the money that you receive. Okay. So those decisions, whether receptive or expressive, it could be it could feel very, very heavy. And again, if it feels heavy, it's pressured. And it means that you're not really fully in alignment with that decision. So just pause, just wait a little bit. And then when you get the clarity around that fiscal decision, you will feel so much better about making that next move. Okay. So let's get into this also. Here's what most people don't realize, that money feels heavy, right? When identity is shifting faster than structure. So it feels heavier when your identity is shifting, right? When your identity is changing, which our identities are shifting constantly. We're not the same person at 5 that we were at birth, or 10 that we were at 5, or 15 that we were at 10, or 20 that we were at, and so on, or 30 when we were at 20, 60 than we were at 50. And our identity is constantly shifting because we're constantly learning and growing. Hopefully we learn from our mistakes and everything else. So when our identity shifts, then that's when if it's shifting faster than structure. So let's say you have a business and you went next level, right? Your business is growing because you've learned, you showed up to the conferences, you hired the coaches and the mentors to help you to get to the next level. You put yourself in the rooms with, or the rooms with, people that knew more than you do, so that you can learn and grow from those that have been there, done that, and can show you the way without making all of the mistakes and the growing pains that they did to help you get there easier. Right. So when you're showing up in that way, then the structure that you're creating around your identity, as your identity is growing, your structure will be growing at the same time. Right. But if you're not doing that kind of work, and you're not putting yourself in the presence of those people, or the presence of, the conferences or the workshops or the masterminds or the groups that you want to belong to, like I said, the people that have done there, been that, and want to show you the way without having to go through all the grief that, that we've gone through as coaches and mentors, and people that want to see other people succeed without having gone through what we've gone through and do it a lot easier. The structure you're creating will be built on rock and not sand. It'll be a lot easier. It's like when I had cancer in 1991, and I learned a lot about personal development. Before that, I didn't know anything about self-development. I was a stockbroker on Wall Street, fully licensed, no clue. And I didn't know, I didn't know anything about it. And then when I ended up with a cancer diagnosis and learned all about this from a hospital bed, you can't unknow what you know. And I was lit up about it, visualization and meditations and all these different things that you could do for yourself, that I began to share all of it with the patients in the rooms, with the patients in the treatment rooms, in the waiting rooms. The doctors started having their patients call me at home because they couldn't explain why I kept living every time they said I die, why I went on to have 3 kids when they swore it would never happen. Right. But as my identity was shifting, as my identity was growing, the structure that I created, I kept up with it because I was reading the books. I was listening to the cassette tapes. I'm dating myself right now. Listening to the cassette tapes, I was just on fire to learn everything I could about this and share it with the other cancer patients so that they can learn and grow from what I learned. That's what I'm saying, putting yourselves in the right rooms. Who would want to be in the room with the person that was saying they're gonna die, or, like, believing that it was gonna be awful and pressure and all of this stuff, when I just found a little not even a little, a much better way, a much better way. And again, the doctors at Sloan Kettering started having their patients call me at home, and I've been not only coaching cancer patients, that was back in the day in the '90s, but they referred me to the aunts, uncles, brothers, cousins, and I've been coaching people that felt stuck in overwhelm and self-doubt, to get them to become focused and fearless and excited about your life personally and professionally. Because you don't want to have one without the other. That's not a whole life. That's not the full package. So, okay. So stress will always show up if your structure is not, if your identity is growing faster than the structure. Okay. You want to be able to do what you can to keep your life on track. And life on track does not mean going back on the track that you were on, because that wasn't working, right? You wouldn't be listening to this video or other videos to help you learn and grow in a much better way, if it was working, right? So it's about helping you get on the track you were born into this world to be on. Again, not going back on track, not back on what wasn't working, back on this track, the track that you were born into this world to be on, your track in your lane so that you can live your best, most abundant, blessed life ever. Okay. So this is not a discipline problem. This is a clarity problem, because you could have all the discipline. You could be going to the gym at 5 in the morning. You could be getting up at 5 a.m. club. You could be doing all these amazing things, and the discipline could be there. But if you don't have the clarity of exactly what you want, it personally and professionally, if you don't have that clarity, you can have the discipline, but it's you're not clear on where you want to go. You don't have that North Star. So that's what I want to help you with. And I see this often with business owners during expansion. Oh my God, during expansion seasons. And revenue is usually it's not the problem. It's not the issue. It's the weight of the unclear decisions. And with business owners during the expansion season, it's so beautiful because, it's everything is growing. And when there's growth, that means that there's work that you're doing that's growing you, it's growing other people. When you're a business owner, when you're an entrepreneur, you're in service of others. So if you're growing, it means you're helping other people grow in a way, whichever way that your service provides. It could be a cleaner house, it could be gutters, it could be, growing their wealth with wealth management. It could be anything at all, fixing their cars. But whatever it is, whatever your business is, if your business is growing, you're growing others' lives in beautiful ways. You're helping them. You're in service of others, and that's where happiness is derived. Okay? So it's a win-win. But if you're not clear during that expansion season, and again, your identity is growing faster than your structure that you have, and you don't have the right plan in place, and you're not really getting counsel and advice from the right people, which is coaching and mentoring, and for people that have been there, done that, then it's going to be a lot more difficult than if you had yourself in the right, I say right rooms, meaning right company, whether it's having coffee at Starbucks with somebody or in an actual networking group, a networking or a meeting or a conference or something like that. All right. So that is all about literally just the pressure, versus the clarity. And I don't want to see you have the pressure. I've done this with illness and got to the other side. I've done this regarding financials. I went through a crazy divorce, and I grew my business during the divorce. I went down to nothing. It was a financial hemorrhage. And before before the divorce, when I was married, my business was to make the world a better place. I wasn't like the full on CEO that was going out networking. It was referrals, and I've written a whole bunch of books. I have character building children's books. I have a book, The Will to Live, that was to help uh, people in their 20s, what girls in their 20s, if they had a cancer diagnosis, because my demographic wasn't represented in the early 1990s. It was St. Jude's, the children, and the elderly. People in their 20s, the demographic wasn't represented. So I wrote a book for people on Long Island, girls on Long Island that were diagnosed in their 20s, to help them feel better about the fact that they're going to lose their hair and all these different things that happen, and dating and whatnot. And it ended up selling around the world. And I got a check in rupees and emails from people thanking me for the work that I did with that book. So anyway, long story short, I did it with health. I did it financially when I grew my business after the divorce as a full-on CEO, and loving every minute of this because I just love being in service of others. I love helping you live your best life personally and professionally. So it's a lot of fun. And when you're doing what you love, it's not work. So again, it's all about clarity and direction. So for this week, the practice for this week is okay, so before your next financial or business decision, pause and ask, does this feel clean? Does it feel clear, or does it feel pressured? So ask yourself that. Does it feel clean, clarity, or does it feel pressured, where you feel like you're forcing yourself to do it, which means you're not 100% clear? And again, clarity could be 60%. You could be clear 60% and still make that decision and rock it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it at 100%. The best of the best of the planet, like Bezos with Amazon and so many different people, once they have the data of like 60% that they can move forward, like a green light, they don't wait for 100%. They got the 60%, 65, and then they move forward. And I'm all about making decisions quickly. Once you have that amount of data, making decisions quickly and changing your mind slowly. Okay. But never, ever make a decision when you feel pressured to make it. Those will be the worst. It's because you're making decisions from a place of chaos as opposed to clarity. And you don't want to do that. You just want to pause. I'm not saying cancel it, or forget about it. I'm saying just pause until you get the clarity. And that's what I love, 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 love helping people with, the clarity and the direction. All right. So if you're a business owner and you're stuck at a crossroads, or a mom and dad and you're stuck at a crossroads, reach out to me. All right. Because I love, love, love helping you just get past that and grow in the most extraordinary ways. Extraordinary. Okay. So that's your word for this week. Before your next financial or business decision, pause and ask, does this feel clean, or does it feel pressured? If it feels pressured, wait. If it feels clean, move. Okay. And this pause completely changed how I made business decisions and how I made different decisions regarding my family as a single mom. Changed it completely, as opposed to being impulsive. I just, okay, I'll do this. Okay, I'll do that. And just being extremely impulsive, that will never serve you. Never serve you. Just enjoy, deep breathe, and just pause. Take a few minutes. It's so good. It's so good. Okay. And the decision stopped feeling heavy for me. When I was in alignment with it and I had the clarity, it actually felt fun. It felt fun. I would put my head on the pillow at night and I couldn't wait for the next day. And I would wake up. I wake up every morning. Just so you know this, I literally wake up every single morning, and I told you about my history with cancer and everything. I wake up and I go, thank you, God, first of all, for waking up. Thank you. Thank you. And then I say, there's 16 hours of endless opportunities in front of me today. There's 16 hours of pure potential in front of me today. I can't wait to see the people, places, and things, God, that you're going to put in my life today. And I get out of bed and I'm lit up. So I fall asleep. I'm excited for tomorrow because I just had and listen, it's not every day of cupcakes and rainbows. I say that all the time. Yeah, because you're going to have challenges. But when you know that you know that you can get through the challenges and get to the other side, and the challenges are here when we're in the valley, that's where all the best lessons that grow us, that's where all the best lessons are learned. We're not learning the best lessons when we're at the mountain peak. We learn our best lessons when we're going through the struggle and we don't quit and we're persistent. and we come out the other side, and then the next mountain peak is even better than the last, and so on and so on and so on. Life is amazing. All right, so that's your work for this week. And if you have any monetary, money or any kind of business decisions that you're struggling with and you want that clarity and direction, I do offer a 90-minute clarity and direction session, for you. And if you're like, again, if you're feeling stuck in a stuck in a crossroads in overwhelm or distracted and you just don't have that clarity and you're feeling the pressure, go to yourclaritysession.com. That's yourclaritysession.com. Schedule the 90-minute session with me personally, and I will go through and help you see where you're clear, see where you're struggling, and what you can do to make those next steps the best possible decisions to lead to the direction that you need to go in. And I look forward to seeing you there. And there's also the free quiz. If you want to do this on your own, I have a free quiz here that tells you where you're at. It's like a 2 to 3 minute quiz, but it gives you a very profound, just a coordination of where you are right here, right now. All right. So thank you so much for being with me again this week. I look forward to next week. And please hit subscribe if this serves you. And if you feel that it would help your fellow, if you're networking with business, with family, with friends, if you feel that this channel can help anybody that you know, help them grow personally and professionally, this Life on Track channel, this series is about clarity and direction. I would love for you to share this with them. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a magnificent day. And always remember to live onward and upward. Love you.